Hi, are you a parent of a child who is between the ages of 1 to 3? Then you need to watch this video. Even if your child is a little older, I urge you to stay till the end because what I'm going to share could change how you approach your child's health and habits before it's too late. Hi, my name is Dipti. I'm an engineer turned teacher turned therapist, and I do one-on-one parenting consultations to help parents raise emotionally and physically healthy children. Recently, a mother reached out to me about her 10-year-old son. And during our conversation, one thing came up and that struck a chord. So I wanted to share that here in this video. She told me, Deepthi, my son has become obese and everyone around me has been telling me that he needs to reduce weight or else he might have health issues, lifelong health issues. What can I do? I can't stop him from eating, right? I can't stop him from eating whatever he likes. I'm hoping that it's a phase. So tell me, what should I do? How should I approach this issue? I gave her a disclaimer. I'm obviously not a nutritionist or a doctor. But I could hear her concerns as a parenting educator. I asked her a few key questions to get to know about his early childhood eating habits. As we got into her son's early years, the story revealed a habit that might be affecting a lot of our kids. This is her story. Like many worried parents, she force fed him just to get him to eat anything, something. Okay, but what does force feeding do to our children? What does science have to say about force feeding? I looked at 3 different research papers. The first one, the Clean Plate Club. The second one, the link between force feeding and obesity. And the third one being cultural habits and obesity. And this is what they had to say. The findings of the current study support previous research in that pressuring children to eat more food ultimately leads to a lower intake of those foods, even in situations when they were not being pressured to eat these foods. These data reveal that pressuring children to eat is not an effective strategy for promoting intake. Traditional feeding practices, which evolved to address the threats to child health posed by food scarcity, may be promoting overeating and overweight in current environments. What did I recommend this mother? Number 1, observe the 3 S's: stress, screens, and stamina. Stress, as in how much of time does your child get to play, to de-stress at home? Is he getting enough rest? Is he having any stressors in his environment? How is his conversations or communication with the parent, with other children? Have there been any new life changes? How is he dealing with day in and day out stress? Does he come back from school and have a huge meltdown? Does he have time to go out and play with his friends, have conversations with his friends? How are those conversations going on? These kind of questions will help you to know how much of stress is there in the child's life. The more the stress, the higher levels of stress eating disorders. So if you want to have an idea about whether your child is eating because he is really hungry or is he stress eating, these questions will give you an idea, a starting point. The second thing to observe is the screen time. Is your child eating with the screens or without the screens? Does he eat more when he's watching video while he's distracted, or is he eating less when he is distracted? So these questions are pretty intuitive and it's very unique to each child. If you're worried about the obesity, then you have to look, where is my child getting his cues of eating? Like, when does he feel hungry and how much is he eating? Is his metabolism good? Coming to stamina, it would be, does he get enough time to play? Is he moving enough? Because as children, movement is a very, very important part, but during our school times and homework and the tuitions and the extra classes, sometimes children don't get enough time to play, right? And that is one thing we really need to look at. Whatever he is eating, is he able to actually burn those calories or burn that through play? If he can't go out and play, some children do not have that option. Can you look at his hobbies? What are his hobbies? Can he join a hobby class? Does he have time for that? Can you create a structure or a routine which allows him to go out and have that time for himself with his friends or with known people. These are the 3 things that you can observe. Step number 2 is teaching him certain skills, teaching him certain very important life skills. It applies to any aged child, be it 2, 3 or be it 11, 13. This is something that we really need to teach, and we forget to teach this. Like even I didn't know this. Like me, when I became an adult, did I learn these skill sets? Number 1 being dead food versus live food. So when you Google this term dead food and live food, you will come up with this definition. Dead food refers to processed foods lacking enzymes and nutrients, often with added chemicals, colors and flavors. And live food encompasses raw, whole and minimally processed foods that retain their natural enzymes and nutrients. Very simply, dead food is your processed packaged foods, and live food is whatever that fruit or the vegetables that you directly get into your house. So does your child have the capability to identify dead and live food? Do they know which food is good for their brain or their body? For a very young child, you could probably play a game where you say, potato, is that a dead food or a live food? Or is that a good food for your brain or a bad food for your brain? So the child should be able to say that. So these kind of games you can start playing even by the age of 2 or 3 when they start talking. Having that kind of conversation is going to help them to understand what they are eating and whether that particular item is good for their body or not. Number 2 is giving them the ingredient awareness. Obviously, this particular thing will apply for a child who is able to read the label behind a packet. Like not all processed or not all packaged items are bad, but can they read what are they putting into their body? If you even look at dried organic blueberry packets, sometimes if you turn back the packet and you read the ingredients, you will find that the first thing listed there is sugar and then it is blueberries. And can your child know that the first thing that they are reading in that ingredient list is what that particular packet has the most of? So can they read the ingredient list and find out what are they eating, what are they putting into their body? If there is glucose, what does glucose mean? It is simply sugar. And do we need that sugar in our body, that extra sugar? What does that extra sugar do in your body? Are there preservatives or are there additives to enhance the flavor? Is it really important? Is it good for their body? These kind of questions we should be introducing early on to the children to understand what they are eating and whether it is safe for their body. The third thing that you can teach your child is when you are going out to shop with your child. Many a times we tend to pick up things that the child also wants. It could be a piece of a chocolate or a packet of chips. But can you have this conversation with your child saying, see, we can have 1:10, as in one item which is a packaged processed item in our grocery bag and the rest have to be live food. Bringing in these kind of clear instructions, clear structures helps the child to stick to healthy food. The most important thing is you will have to first of all follow these kind of rules, and only then the child will also be interested in following these rules themselves. So are you aware of what is the percentage of live versus dead food in your grocery bag? If you are aware, does it need to be reduced? I'm talking about the dead food. Does it need to be reduced? Can you reduce it? Can you teach those skills to your children? Because that is going to help them become adults who are aware of what they are putting into their body. Respecting your body's cue, food satiety cues, like I am done, that is enough, my stomach is full and I need to stop. This comes from mindfulness. Mindfulness in itself is a very deep concept and it needs to be taught very early on. Like when your child is 1, 2, 3, when you respect their hunger cues, that particular skill automatically gets built into the child. But when we do not respect their hunger cues, we are building a child who is not going to probably know how much to put in, whether they are full or whether they are not full. This is a problem probably even I have been going through. Like honestly, even I for a very long time did not honor my hunger cues. Like if I'm done, if I'm finished with whatever I'm putting in my body and my stomach is saying, with that first burp it's saying, Dipti, you're done, I'm done, stop eating. Very rarely have I ever listened to it. It's always been about what the tongue wants, what is so tasty. Oh my god, I'm not going to get this rasgulla tomorrow to eat. And what it has done is, over the years, I have had my health issues and weight loss issues. Today, children are a lot more stressed out. Children have lesser play area, play time. And when we are feeding our children, when we are not respecting our children's satiety cues or hunger cues, we are putting them at a very big disadvantage. We are building a nation of children who are going to become obese. My grandmother told me that there was a time when they were growing up, they used to have 4-5 kids in the house, and it was not possible to feed each child. I'm talking about toddlers, probably 1 to 2 years old. They used to make small rounds of whatever they were eating, and they used to place it on the plate, and the child used to pick it up on their own and feed himself or herself till the hunger was satiated, and then the child just used to walk away from that place. But in today's situation, when we have 1 or 2 children, we have a little bit of more time, and what we end up doing is we feed the child. We think we know better than the child, so we stop trusting the child and we start feeding the child more than probably what is required. If they fall sick, we get scared and we'll be like, oh my god, it's because my child's immunity is so bad, I have not been feeding the child so much, and that is why my child keeps falling sick, let me feed him more. But research clearly says that it might not be good for them in the long run. So it's never too late to guide our children towards healthier habits, but it starts with us. The way we feed, the way we talk about food, and the way we model healthy habits in early years can have a lifelong impact. If this resonated with you, please leave a comment. I'd love to read your comments, and we'll meet in the next video. Thank you. Bye.